Me and my girlfriend went out last night for drinks at a bar in Dallas. And I just want to say, like, what happened? What happened with the Chivalry? You see that bar? You see the bar full of men?
The men are in their environment. They got to the bar first. First come, first serve. Nobody owes you their seat at the bar. Now, if we were at a wedding, if we were
Literally just watching women in heels stand up. Like, what happened to the men? Like, I'm so not used to this. And
Nobody owes you anything. Nobody at that bar is your brother or your father or your husband or your son. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis, and welcome to the IPH Theory. Also, I am one half of the cultural discussions. Please like, follow, and subscribe to both entertainment channels on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a clip for you today from the Philip Scott Show. Shout out to Uncle Phil. He's a massive content creator, entrepreneur, businessman. He has a few successful channels, and they're major. But anyway, I got this clip from his channel, and his team maybe got it from the young lady's TikTok or Facebook, wherever they got it from. You know, we're content creators, so we share content. We all have access to a lot of the same content. But there's a young lady that's complaining that her and her friend showed up at a bar and no men gave up their seats at the bar. And I want to expand on that. Here we go.
so I had to make a TikTok about this, y'all. Me and my girlfriend went out last night for drinks at a bar in Dallas. And I just want to say, like, what happened? What happened with the Chivalry? You see that bar? You see the bar full of men sitting down, literally just watching women in heels stand up. Like, what happened to the men? Like, I'm so not used to this, and I never will be.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you all heard what I heard. And she said that her and her friend were at a bar in Dallas, and she is asking whatever happened to chivalry. And I guess, the notion or the idea of, men getting up whenever women need to be seated, like courteous behavior, especially with the man regarding women. Now, it's not like you all are pregnant women and you all walked into a crowded church or a wedding, because many men will still give up their seats for women. But y'all walked into the bar. If they were already sitting there first come, first serve. I mean, at the end of the day, I could be wrong for saying this. I feel like going to a bar and grill is more of a man thing. Women, they kind of like hookah bars. You guys like lounges and things like that. I'm not saying that women don't like bars. I know a lot of women like bars, but even when I hear the word bar, I think about men being majority of the clientele or the customers. And, with a lot of sports bar and grills, you catch a lot of women who are the servers. They get their tips, especially if they have on their cute little outfits. They're looking good. Their makeup is on point. But actually sitting at a bar and we have a lot of sports going on, that's really a man's environment. So, like I say, nothing happened to men. She said, what happened to men? Nothing happened to men. The men are in their environment. They got to the bar first. First come, first serve. Nobody owes you their seat at the bar. Now, if we were at a wedding, if we were at a church, if we were on a train or a bus, and it's like, okay, here comes some ladies, a bunch of men sitting down. Ladies, you can take my seat. But first of all, you have to realize, ma'am, nobody owes you anything. Nobody at that bar is your brother or your father or your husband or your son. Literally, if there was nowhere to sit and my mother or my sister walks into that establishment, you damn right I'm getting up. or a lady that I know or a lady that I'm dating. I can understand if your husband is at the bar and now you're still standing, then we do have an issue. If I'm a husband and my woman walks into a lounge or a bar and there's nowhere to sit, hey, baby, sit right here, sweetie, I'll stand. But we got to get rid of the arrogant entitlement. Nobody owes you anything. First of all, if we're at a bar and a grill, that is a man environment. You got baseball on this TV, basketball on this TV, football on this TV. You got the news on this TV. Why don't you guys go look for a table? Why do you want to be at the bar? You might want to be at the bar because maybe you're a single woman. You want to be in the action. You want to be looked at. You're pretty. You're looking good. You want to be complimented. Maybe a man might buy you a drink. But when we're specifically talking about a bar, that's a man environment. So get a table. Nothing happened to chivalry. Men are very courteous. Men are very mindful and aware and considerate. Okay? What do you all think? Is a bar a manly environment, especially a sports bar? Soon as it says sports bar, you know men are going to be there. And now it's getting ready to be football season. And then here comes basketball season. We got baseball, soccer. It's a lot of sports on. So you're going to catch a lot of men at the bar. Now, say a man was leaving and he's like, hey, ladies, I'm getting ready to head out. Y'all can sit right here. But you can't expect a man with his tequila and his nachos and his wings and his salad. He's just supposed to get up. And then remember, I'm not saying this is you, ma'am, but there's a lot of women who claim to be strong and independent. And some men get talked too bad whenever they want to help a woman. Like, for instance, you might be getting water at the grocery store and then you see an older woman and you're like, hey, ma'am, I can help you get whatever. Some women will say, no, I don't need any help. Okay, well, fine. But if that same man doesn't offer to help, then he's still looked at as not courteous or not considerate. You know, literally us men, we can win. I said us men, we men. Oh, shout out to the English teachers, whatever. But yes, ma'am, nobody owes you anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis. Have a wonderful day. Please like, please follow, please subscribe, comment below. Stay blessed.